Hello, everyone, and welcome to the International Fab Talks. We are happy and glad to connect with several unsung heroes across the world. It's a pleasure and honor to have them share their expertise with us, their experience with us. And when it is expertise and experience, and then finally comes out the best of best, wisdom. So here we have with us a wonderful person who's going to share his wisdom and his knowledge with regard to several areas where he is very proficient in. He is Mr. Vijay. He is joining us all the way from Mysuru, the city of palaces, and that's located in a beautiful state in India, that is Karnataka. He's joining us all the way from there. Hello, sir, and welcome to the session, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Crystal. Good to see you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for accepting the invitation to the International Fab Talks. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
My dear friends, you must be wondering who's Mr. Vijay. Mr. Vijay is that person who has more than 3 decades of experience. Guess where? In the stock market. He has a lot of experience and he has been into that beautiful field where he has been an investor, a trader, a broker, and above all, a wonderful teacher. And this has made him gain a lot of wisdom and that space where he could share his thoughts and views, and he could enable you to try the very best in you. You know, we all want you to bring out the best in you. And that is why we have special celebrities and guests who are joining us all the way, taking out their time, energy, and because they have that love for humanity. They want to see all the youngsters out doing their very best. It could be a youngster, it could be a middle-aged person, it could be a senior citizen who is being inspired by this beautiful session. Sir, thank you so much. I'd like to go ahead and share your profile in an official way now.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Dear friends, it's always a honor and pleasure to share the profile of our celebrity and guest. So I go ahead and share the profile with sir's permission. As I earlier mentioned, we have with us Mr. Vijay. He is a professional with 35 plus years of experience under his belt with over 3 decades in the investment domain. That's beautiful. After graduating with a distinction in electrical engineering from UVCE Bangalore, Vijay went on to do his MBA from JAMNALAL BAJAJ Institute of Management, Mumbai, passing out with flying colors and being placed in the top 20 in the university. Starting his career in marketing research, IMRB, where he honed his analytical skills, and having yet another stint in advertising, OGILVY, where his marketing skills were polished. Vijay sir started as a sub-broker on the MSE. What is this MSE? MADRAS Stock Exchange in 1991. Dear friends, it is now 2024. Imagine the rich experience sir would have had right from 1991. And then was associated with OTCEI, MCX, BSE, and NSE since 1995. Thus, he has 3 decades of wonderful experience with regard to investments, with regard to stock market. And friends, sir has also always been in the forefront of helping investors or helping people to understand how the market works, how things work at a higher level. Like if it's a layman like me, I will not be able to understand that. But if we get the expert or maybe the experience shared over here from our celebrity and guest, we all could understand as to what it is and how we could also take part in that. So Vijay sir has always been in the forefront of investor and broker education right from day one. His skills, knowledge, and technical expertise has been respected right through till date and by the regulatory authorities, and he's been appointed as the arbitrator by SEBI on different occasions. He has been a source of information to several postgraduate and doctoral students for their theses. Wow, sir, this is brilliant. Vijay sir is a regular speaker on various platforms on his views on the market, especially on the technical analysis. That's really nice. He has also appeared on several TV shows and print media as well. He is also the faculty for capital markets to undergraduate students at Stella Maris College, Chennai, apart from being a visiting faculty at Banari Amman Institute of Technology and Management and VVS Mysuru. Dear friends, on the social media, Vijay sir is very active on Twitter, which is now known as X, if I'm not mistaken that. Yes, and under the pseudonym of Sainik. Sir is also known as Sainik. Vijay sir is also known as, Sainik. That's wonderful. Now, at Sainik 3636, I repeat that again. He's on Twitter, which is now known as X, and his, you can connect with sir if you would like to, because there are several people connected to him. And here is the link at Synic 636. That's really nice. I got it in the right way. And sir writes daily market reports as well as regular threads on the markets. These have gained him around 13,000 plus followers across the world. Among them, media superstars like Andy Mukherjee, Lata Venkatesh, Debashish Basu, Prashant Nair, Gopika Gopakumar, and Praveen Palanade, Amisha, etc. All of them. And there are several others. I've just cut short the list. He has also a free Telegram group where he posts his intraday trades, where he has got unbelievable hit rate of more than 80%. Too good to last. That's what we're going to ask him all about that. He mentors UHNIs and typical portfolio has returned more than 25% annualized since June 2022. And from Jan 2023, in another portfolio, it is well on its way for a targeted returns of 20% plus annualized. It has significantly beaten one of the best PMS portfolios, Nifty, as well as a popular MF diversified portfolio. Now, dear friends, we'll dive into the session and get to know as to more how we could understand how the stock market works. What is it? Can you and I also jump into that and, build a beautiful future over there too, with the expertise and experiences that our celebrity and guest has. He is Mr. Vijay. Join me, friends, to know more about him and his work. Hello, sir, and welcome. You have an impressive, profile. And I love the way you said, I am a teacher and I love to be a teacher. Apart from being an investor, a broker, a trader, teaching is also a great passion. How did this journey all begin, sir? Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Crystal, for a wonderful introduction. Flawless introduction, I should say. You covered everything and more. I just want to add one thing. I recently started my YouTube channel. It's called Market Mirror. I do every day a video in the morning before the market opens. And with God's grace, things have worked out well. I've been receiving plentiful feedback, most of it positive, and that the YouTube journey has started now. So that's my current new venture, I should say. Very amateur kind of thing. But still, what I'm looking at is content. At the end of the day, content is more important than, the shosha, which people may do. So that's where I come from. Basically, since I'm a teacher, I'm looking more at, the content part of it. That's the reason why I've been teaching. I've been called to teach in various colleges, schools for many years, simply because they feel that there is something worthwhile to learn from me. Of course, I learn equally from them because as a teacher, you never stop learning. You have to wonder what the audience is and then take a feedback and then give it back to them. It's a positive loop. So that is what I do. See, basically my background is like this. I'm from military school. That's called the Sainik School at Bijapur. So that's why I've kept my pen name as Sainik. 636 was my roll number in the school. So Sainik 636. So that's how the number, my call sign is. So I did engineering and then I hated engineering. So went to management, did MBA in JAMNALAL BAJAJ in Mumbai, one of the more prestigious schools in this country. And then I jumped into market research firm, the largest market research firm, which is IMRB. Then I went into advertising, which was with OGILVY. Then it was called O&M. Now it's called OGILVY. And so I used to handle Titan and Ponds advertising. But my basic passion was to be into stocks, which I started during my engineering days. So I decided somewhere along the line that I should jump into it and make it my profession. So stocks were my passion since 1982. It became my profession in 1991. Subsequent to the liberalization which started then in 1991. So I thought that was a new India. I am part of the old India. The first 30 years is old India where, it was all socialism. You had to ration and you never had a TV, black and white TV was there. And telephones were all rotary telephones. So I started my journey there. I had no idea as a business, but I started, and as luck would have it, things have worked out. People joined me, funded me, made me a stockbroker, and now I'm no longer a stockbroker. Now I'm retired, but I still teach at colleges. I also I mentor a lot of people. So that is what I do. Yeah.
Excellent, sir. That's wonderful. That's really very nice. So I have a very simple question. It may be simple for you, but it is quite tough for me and most of the people like me. In simple terms, how would you explain this stock market? What is it actually? Because there are many people who have heard it, but they don't know actually what it is and how it works.
Yeah, it's always simple questions are the most beautiful questions. So you should always feel happy to ask a simple question, because one can always ask a complicated question to show that they know something. But a simple question is always very welcome. And I think it was a very relevant question which you asked. See, basically, you see, when you want to put your money, your savings, you generally turn towards your banks. That is because you are sure of getting your return on your investment. So in the banks, you get about 6 to 8%, depending on a bank, depending on what kind of deposits you do. So that is safe. It's 100% safe in that sense. Up to 5 lakhs, you have nothing to worry. Even if the bank goes bust. Of course, in India, very few banks have gone bust, and the government of India takes care to see the larger banks never go bust. So you can say it's 100% safe. But if you want to take a little bit of risk, then you move out to something like, you put money into what is called as company debentures, where companies want money, pay a higher rate of interest. So let's say you want to take a higher amount of risk, then you get into something called equity, which is a part of the stock markets. So there you invest in companies and hope to get a return which is higher than what you get either through a bank or when you loan to a company through a debenture or a bond. So when you enter the stock market and you buy shares in any particular company, you become a part owner of that company. Let us say I go and buy Infosys shares. So when I buy one share of Infosys, I can buy even one share. Then I become a part owner of that company, which means that if they declare any dividend, if the company declares, then I will get a part of the dividend. If I'm allowed to go to the annual general meeting. So for all practical purposes, I am a part owner of that company. Though the company management, the company owner may be having a higher proportion of shares, but I still own the part of the company. So there is a risk, but there is a reward in that. But where is the reward coming from? From two places. One is what the company declares a dividend. The second is what is called as capital appreciation. When you put money in the bank, there is no capital appreciation as such. The only way you can say capital appreciation happens is when the bank gives you an interest on your deposit. Here, the capital appreciation is when the share price starts moving up. So how does the share price move up? When you actually trade, when the particular stock is traded on the stock exchange, people buy and sell. If there is a greater demand for that stock, then the share price goes up. And if there is less demand, the share price comes down. For instance, if you look at the last 30 years, then if you take an average, what we call the CAGR, compounded annual growth rate of your investment in the stock market, it will be about 14%, 12 to 14%. If you're kept in FD, it will be 8%. If you give it to a company, it may be 9%. 8% is the max I'm talking of. It may be 6%, 7%, 8%, depending on the interest rates. But in the stock market, if you are kept it in good companies, by and large, your CAGR, on average for last 30 years, about 14%. So stocks are useful and not only for nation building. For instance, when more people put money into the market, the companies are able to come to the market and garner that money and build their companies, and therefore it is a part of nation building in that sense. So therefore, stock markets are very important, let's say, institutions of nation building. So a lot of people think stock markets is satta, which means they're gambling. That is not so. If you're only trading recklessly, then it is gambling. But if you're investing in the stock market, It is a part of nation building. It benefits you, it benefits the company, and it benefits the nation also. So therefore, I believe strongly that every person in school should be taught about the stock markets. This has been my fervent hope. Whenever school students come to me or whenever I go to schools, I make it a point to teach people about stocks, basic understanding of the stock market. So stock market is risky, so is life. So stock market is a mirror of life. So if you simply run on the road, blindfolded, then obviously there is a chance of an accident. But if you are crossing the road looking both left and right, then your probability of having an accident is very low. Same thing with the stock market. If you have got all your facts at your fingertip, then the chance of you making loss in the stock market is less. It is not that you will never make a loss in the stock market, because a stock market fluctuates not only based on the company's fundamentals, it also fluctuates based on what is called liquidity. If more people bring in money into the stock market and want to buy a particular share, then the share price automatically goes up. It is basic supply and demand. But if more people want to sell a share for whatever reason of that particular company, because it is something bad has happened to the company, then the share price comes down. So if you invest in good companies, you will tend to make money more often than not. I always give an example to my students as to what is investing in the stock market. See, in your state, you have Tirupati. Tirupati, if people have visited Tirupati, there are many ways to reach Tirumala. From Tirupati to reach Tirumala. I am taking this example. It can be anything, but I like to give this example because I believe in Balaji and I have gone to Tirupati many times. So when you go to Tirupati, you have that mountain. The mountain, if you have to go from the foothills to the temple, it's about 13 kilometers. So you can either go by bus and train, or you can, sorry, not train, bus or any car or any vehicle, or you can climb the hill. Now, climbing the hill, it is a difficult task. But the first part is the most difficult. Then, it is when you complete the first part of about 800 meters, 1 kilometer, then you hit the road and then it becomes smooth. And then you walk, and then about 3 hours it takes you to reach from the foothills to the temple. So just an analogy here that, every person can reach the temple. Some people who are older may take more time. Youngsters may take less time. So most people will reach. Most people, unless they are completely, infirm, then obviously it will not reach. So investing is like that. It will be a slow, steady grind, but finally you'll reach a goal of having that 12% of return CAGR. So that is investing.
Yes, dear sir. Thank you very much, sir, for sharing all the knowledge that you have with us with regard to stock market and how the investment system works, because I was really nil on that. I really had literally no idea. You put it in very simple terms for us to understand. You said it is risky, but then there are rewards. Even life is a great risk. You've given wonderful examples, like on the road when you go, if you just, without looking on your right and left, if you just walk, it's very, very risky and dangerous. But if you take care to have a look at the right and left side and then cross, that makes sense. So in the same way, investment also is somewhat similar. Cross-check and then go ahead. And you've also focused on this. When you invest, you will also be benefited, the company as well as the nation. It's like nation building. I really like the way you put this very clearly, because we all would love to thrive individually, as a company, or as a nation, and the universe as a whole. Dear sir, what inspired you, or who inspired you to enter into this field? Where did you feel that turning point coming that, yeah, this is where I feel that I should continue my journey?
Yeah, that's a very good question again. When I was in third year of engineering, somebody mentioned to me that, there is a stock called Tata Tea. Tata Tea, we have heard of tea, we drink tea, and it's many manufacturers are there, and Tata Tea. So the person mentioned that Tata Tea is likely to do well because there was a lot of demand for tea that year because there was drought in Assam. You see? So it just attracted my attention. See, when you invest in stock market, you're just not looking at hearing from somebody. You need to know about something happening in Assam, which makes less crop grow, less tea grow. And therefore, because there is less of supply, the demand is, even at the same demand, the price goes up. So that made me go and buy my first stock, which was Tata Tea. When I went to a broker, that broker told me, sir, why are you buying this? This stock is not moving at all. So I told him, see, this is the information I have about tea. It is not about Tata Tea, about tea. So this is the premier stock in tea. So let me buy it. He was completely taken aback that I had done some research before going and buying my first stock. So that is how I bought that. And lo and behold, in the next 6 months, it went up many-fold. So that you may call it as beginner's luck. You know, your stock tripling in 6 months is a beginner's luck. But nevertheless, the work which went behind it was what attracted me. As a researcher, I always, when I was in IMRB, as a researcher, we went through, understanding the market. So there I went and tried to understand as to what is happening before we go and buy stocks. So in 1991, when I got an opportunity, when I felt that, India is now turning, this India of 1991 onwards is a completely new India. This is what I thought. Why did I think so? Because prior to that, we had a particular way of our economics. Economics changed dramatically in the first budget in 1991 when we were in deep trouble. When India was in deep trouble, we had actually, pledged our gold to Bank of England. We had only 3 weeks of forex reserves. We were bankrupt. So when I thought India is a great country, there is no way we are going to go bankrupt. Something good will happen, and something good happened in the first budget of 1991. So I jumped in then thinking that now let me write the India story. So the India story really began. The first story began between 1947 and 1991. The second and the bigger story in terms of economics began from 1991. So I jumped in then. It was more of, there was disaster. There was disaster and people had not given a chance. In 1947, there was a disaster and the Britishers had not given a chance of us surviving politically, socially. In 1991, the whole world had written us off. They had said that this country will not survive because they do not have the money more than 3 weeks. So I just thought, how can India not survive? India is not some, a country which can just go by the wayside. So I jumped hoping that India will survive and India will grow and I will grow with that. So that was my motivation actually. And I said, okay, let us see, let us test my understanding of India. And I jumped in on that. It was not some one person telling me or, I went to a course or something like that. It is just my instinct that India will survive and India will grow.
Yes, excellent, sir. Thank you very much for sharing that. That's really wonderful. Dear sir, now we'd like to take you down memory lane, get to know about your childhood. As a child below the age of 10 or before you enter into the teens, below the age of, 13, we'll take it like from the day you were born right up to 12 years, like before you enter your teenage, any memory that you remember, which is evergreen in your mind?
Yeah, see, we were from a place very near Hyderabad, incidentally, the northern part of Karnataka. The northern part of Karnataka is a very backward area. Even today it is. I'm talking 60s. We didn't have electricity and we didn't have schools. So my dad always put me in a boarding school. So I started at the age of 4 at upper KG. I was in a hostel. So I was in a hostel from the upper KG, first, second, third, fifth, till 11th standard. So those days, the memories of those days was that if you are in a hostel, you have to have discipline. You cannot, and you have to learn to be independent. So those years taught me how to be like an individual and not dependent on your parents. Because my parents are not there. They're there, but they're not there because we are in the hostel 10 months in a year or 9 months in a year. So that taught me how to live independently, but it also taught me discipline. So once you're in a hostel, you can get into all kinds of mischief. So while I was a mischievous boy, but not that you cross boundaries. So typically people, when they go into hostels, they end up becoming disasters. Not all, I'm saying the probability is high there. The chances are there. What shall I say? the circumstances make you, take some risks, which I think that taught me. And that has held me in good stead of leading a straight and narrow life most of my time. So that is what really, that was my foundation.
Wonderful, sir. That's really nice. Thank you for sharing. As you mentioned, discipline is one important thing, and independence. These two things are very important as we grow. We should never be dependent too much on our parents nor on anyone. We should be self-built, self-made. And of course, when you need help, you should really seek help. You should not shy away from asking for help. That is one main thing, my dear friends. Dear sir, now I'd like to ask you, could you share something more about the experience that you've had for over 3 decades in the field of stock market? Is there any PPT that you'd like to share with us to give us a better idea? Is there something else that you'd want to elaborate and make it more clear for us?
Yeah, I'll just share with you a graph for whatever it's worth. So can you see this or what? No, okay. Yeah, can you see the graph? No.
Yes, sir.
You can see, right?
Yes.
So, yeah. So you see, when in the stock market, there are something called indices. You have indices. Let's take the index, for instance, which Indian index from a long time has been something called Sensex. Now, Sensex, I was telling you, the Sensex represents the stock market. So if you look at Sensex, if you see, let me just push it here. Yeah. You see here, in 1979 onwards, if you take even 1990s, when it was just around 1,500, the Sensex. From there, it has slowly and steadily gone up. The red bars indicate this is a monthly, this is an annual, chart of the Sensex. The red bar indicates that year was a bad year. So you have had bad years in 94. Sorry, this was in 2001. So if you take from here, it was about 1,500 when I started my career. And then we had some bad time. The 1990s and 2000 was not great. But from 2001, it has taken off. 1 year was bad. The green one indicates a positive year. Then there was another bad year. But you see green, green, green. Then you see, today we are at some 74,000. I started my career at 1,500. So if somebody starts, I mean, even now, you start any time, you see it has been only growing. Because India is growing. So when I say stock market, over a period of time, you will make reasonable return. This is a classic case. It has not collapsed. You see, it does not collapse. Whereas I will show you something else. Let's just take this Japan. You see, Japan from the 1970s, it has been only going up, going up, going up, and then it went to 1990, and then from there it has collapsed. Between 1990 and even till today, that is 1990 till now is 34 years, the Japanese stock market was down. This is the index. Okay? Whereas India, I showed you, was only up. This is India. India is up. Japan, this Japanese index, it peaked out somewhere in 1989 end. And then it has given up. Japan is a very large economy, yet it did not perform well because of the excesses which were committed in this period from 64 to 1989. 25 years of excesses, it happened this way. But in India, till now, we have not had that problem. So stock markets can be quite frustrating in the developed countries also. It is not that only in developed countries, in India or developing countries, you'll have stock markets not doing well. Stock markets in India have actually done well, whereas stock market in Japan has done very poorly in the last 30 years. So that is what I want to say, that you trust the India growth story. There's still a long way to go. Even when here, let's say in 2008, it fell down, the global markets fell down, but within 2 years, it bounced back. So if you're taking a 10-year time frame, you will invariably see that things are only going on the upside rather than downside. Sure, you'll have times, you'll have months, you'll have days, weeks, months, maybe a couple of years when things are not that good. But by and large, India will take care of it. It's just that you have to have the discipline to hold on and the patience to hold on. Discipline in terms of understanding what stocks to buy, patience to hold those stocks even if things are not that good in the short term. As I said, stocks mirror life. In life, you go through ups and downs, but if you are disciplined and if you are patient, you will win in the long run. So that is what stock market is all about. So I'll now stop sharing. Okay? Yeah. I hope you got a picture of how stock markets behave.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being so kind enough to show us that wonderful graph, and you've taken the patience and all the time to explain that so beautifully with lots of clarity. Thank you very much. Dear sir, now I'd like to ask you this. Now, your teaching stint, like, how did this beautiful passion begin? And you've also been enabling postgraduate students and a doctoral, who are connected with their PhDs. They would also want some help from you. You've been helping them with their theses and all of that. I would like to know more about it, because I would like to know that beautiful passion, because once a teacher, always a teacher.
Yeah.
Over to you, sir.
See, teaching is one such thing. It is more of a passion than a profession, because unfortunately in India, teachers are not paid that high. So nobody wants to go into the teaching profession. When we were in school, we had wonderful teachers. Then when we went to college, we had good teachers. When we went to university, we had fair teachers, I would say. So the best teachers came from school. And today, whatever we are is because of what was taught in our school. If only we had the same quality of teachers in our college and our post-graduation, then our life would have been much different. So the school teacher, for instance, doesn't care too much for his salary. He worries more about how to mold the child, because you have like the wet clay, you have to mold. Whereas the college teacher knows that already you have been molded whichever way. So he doesn't put too much of attention in molding you. The postgraduate teacher molds you even less. So it should be the same. The same kind of dedication should be there. But what happens? Reality is that the higher you go in the education system, the less the emphasis of the teacher on the student. Same, the student also on the teacher. Because when you are in school, you don't bunk your classes. When you are in college, you love to bunk your classes. So it works both ways. It's not that only the teacher is not that great or something like that. But if you have a great teacher in college, the very few people who will bunk. If you see abroad, there are teachers whose classes students from other faculties come and attend. I have had in my post-graduation here in India, where a teacher was so good that we used to go, if he's teaching finance, we were in marketing, we'll go and attend his class, just to listen to that wisdom. So I have great respect for teachers. Now, what I have seen is that when professionals are the best teachers, because what happens in a professional arena, see, stock market is professional. So it is not, you cannot learn from books. You need to learn from experiences. So a typical teacher under the UGC Commission, University Grant Commission status, they may not know it. They may be good people, but they may not have the practical knowledge. So you need to have somebody who has gone through the whole 9 yards. So when Stella Maris asked me to come, Stella Maris is a ladies' college in Chennai, one of the most reputed colleges in India, and they do not have a single male faculty. So it reminded me, like, I went where no man has ever gone before. It's like the Star Trek slogan was, no man, they went where no man has ever gone before. So they had the confidence in me to see that I will handle a set of girls and teach them about capital markets. So for about 7-8 years, I taught them. And also I got offers from other places, and I never bothered about what money they gave me. What they gave me was a place for me to expound on my knowledge and my experience to a bunch of graduates and postgraduates. And that was a huge learning experience for me. And I'm sure they also learned, because they are still friendly to me. Today, the students who are passed out still keep in touch with me. So it is like a symbiotic relationship. It is not that only I teach or only I speak. It is that the other person also comes back to me with queries, with questions, challenges me. then only both of us grow. So that is what I look forward. So my profession is one of the toughest profession in terms of time management as well as, emotional management. Now, I still have to take out time to teach there. But the kind of time I spend, the quality time, is like a breath of fresh air. When you are working all the time, you want to go on a holiday. So you go to some nice place. It was for me, college was a nice place to go back to college, because the rigmarole of the day-to-day work can be quite suffocating. There it was relief. It was like freedom. So for me, I got freedom and I also got paid whatever I got paid. Payment was not important for me. It was not my job. It was my passion. And that made me, continue. Even today, I actively look for teaching assignments anywhere in India. I'm willing to go anywhere and teach, so long as, they take care of the basic necessities. So I ask people, you don't pay me anything, just call me. I'm willing to teach, because whatever I have learned, it should not go with waste. One is I can write a book, but today nobody reads a book. But if I come and tell you, these are the mistakes I made, you do not make these mistakes. And if I can tell you how to not only encounter those mistakes or those situations, how to be on top of the situations, then your job is half done. When we were starting, I never got any assistance from anybody. Nobody taught me anything. All was on self-learning. So self-learning you can do with passion. It takes time. What takes you 10 years to learn, if somebody comes and teaches me, I may be able to learn in 3 years. So the learning curve will be faster if somebody comes and teaches you. But if you are going to do it on your own, you will still do it. But it will take you that amount of time. It's like climbing that hill in Tirupati. You can climb and go. That will take on your own. But if you go in a car, you will go faster. So that is the difference. If somewhere, some good teacher comes, I'm hoping that I'm a reasonably good teacher. I wish I had a teacher or a mentor. So I try to mentor people today. So I'm hoping that, if I can give out my best to them, they will grow faster and make it a profitable, a venture they have.
Yes, sir. That's really nice. Thank you so much for explaining that. That's really nice. And you said being a teacher, you learn even from your students, and the way they question you, they, make you go home and maybe take out time and sharpen your skills, hone your skills, and come back. So you will always be having beautiful thoughts, and at the same time, you'll be having more and more information. You'll be collecting a lot of information such that you're ready when your students ask you any question. And you are not even, you said earlier, as I mentioned, that I learn a lot from my students too. There are some brilliant students, and when they question you, you start thinking, why did I not think in that way? Or maybe, I could think in that way, or maybe I could work on that as well. I have not touched upon. Because myself being an academician, I've seen many students asking me questions where I didn't put my energy into getting to know what it is. And so when they triggered that in me, I said, I thank them internally for that. And of course, then I had the courage to even thank them openly in the class. Because of them, I get to know more being a teacher. I think this should be one for everyone, like if you're in the teaching field. That's wonderful, sir. Yeah. So now, amongst all the experiences that you've had till date, which one is the proudest one? Where do you feel, yeah, I've given my best shot here, and this is the wow moment in my life?
Oh, that's a very tricky question. I really don't know what to say in terms of wow moment. The wow moment could be if you take purely from teaching, for instance. It's a wow moment for me when, the students recognize me outside the classroom. They come and talk to me. So that is a wow moment for me as a teacher. And the wow moment for me as a family is my daughters. I have 2 daughters, and I always gave them 100% freedom. I never questioned them. So whereas the other parents who also had daughters always had restrictions, I never had any restrictions at all. No, I never used the word no at all. So whatever they asked, I said yes. So when I say whatever they ask, it is not that they ask something, expensive or something. I'm just saying, if they want to go out somewhere, I never said no. You are a girl, you should not go out. I never. And we were in Chennai for many years, a conservative place, but I never said no. So that is a thing which they still remember. And because they remember that, it's a wow moment for me, because whatever, a boy would get in terms of freedom, I gave it to both my daughters. When, for instance, one example is when they were about 9 and 6, the kids. So they wanted to go to Bangalore. And I could not come with them. I could not accompany. But they wanted to go on a particular day. So I simply packed them onto a Shatabdi and found two uncle and aunt, one couple there, and told them, you take care of my kids, because there is no halt between Madras and Bangalore. And the Bangalore, my brother-in-law will come and pick them up. So I sent them on Shatabdi unattended, but overseen by a respectable couple. A lot of people complain as to how come you can leave your kids who are just 9-year-old and 6-year-old onto a train, or anything can happen. But practically nothing can happen, because the train leaves Madras and stops next is only at Chennai. Now, of course, there are stops. But I'm saying when the first Shatabdi was introduced, there are no stops. And my brother-in-law was there to pick them up. So that is the thing they remember today. For me, it's a wow moment. There are many moments, but I'm just giving an example. So that is something which I would like to share. That if you are a parent, you have to trust your children, that they will be able to do what they are. They are more intelligent than you. You think that you are older, but they can be equally wise. So that is what I have always done. And that is what I would like to convey, that nobody is less. Nobody is less. Just because they are, your kids, that doesn't mean they're not intelligent. Just because they're coming from a lower state of the society as a student, they are not that they are any poorer in terms of the passion for knowledge. So everybody is equal, and you should treat them as equal, and they should know that you're treating them as equal. The moment you do that, then things really go smooth, and they'll remember it. See, people will remember how you treated them, always. It doesn't matter what gifts you give them, or which movies you took, or what holidays you took. How you treat them on a regular basis is what people will remember. And that is how I remember about my senior, my parent, my friends, how they treated me. So that is exactly what I have tried to imbibe into myself and try to, spread the good word around.
That's wonderful, sir. Really, I really appreciate that. A progressive thinker you are as a father and as a professional as well. And I wish that every parent listens to this. Respect your child, and if they are girls or boys, give them that due respect and be progressive. Allow them to pursue whatever they would love to. As you've been, I wish my dad was like that. All that I could say is that this is what I can say.
You can be for your kids, If your dad was not there, it's okay, perfectly okay. See, maybe our dads were all very conservative, but what did we want as kids? That our dads have to treat us in a particular manner. That we can do to our kids. You see? Just because our dads did not do, of course, my dad also did not do, because he was a conservative person. He's the 50s and the 60s. They treated children very differently. But why can't we do it differently? What we wanted, we give it to our children.
Yes, that's wonderful. That's really very nice. And all of the young parents out there, there's a big message for you from our platform from Vijay sir. Yes, focus on that beautiful one. Empower your children. It could be a boy, it could be a girl. Empower them in the right way. Dear sir, now I'd like to ask you this question. Your favorite quotation, which is very close to your heart, which applies with your profession as well, and your personal life, like which one you focus your energies on and maybe read it time and again or recollect it time and again?
Oh my God, this is again a very wonderful question, but I was not prepared for it. But nevertheless, one of the poems, there is a poem called If, written by Rudyard Kipling. So it basically says, when everybody loses their head and goes helter-skelter, you have to stand by your, whatever your thoughts and your deeds and your discipline. And that's a wonderful, poem. Is titled as If, and by Rudyard Kipling. There is another one by Invictus. It's titled Invictus, and I don't remember who wrote it. But, there is a movie called Invictus also, about the South African rugby team, which won the world championship. under Nelson Mandela. So there it talks of he being the captain of the soul. You are responsible for yourself. You cannot give excuses. So Invictus is one poem which I've always loved, and I have loved this. If I've always looked at failures who turn to successes. See, I have looked at Abraham Lincoln, who was a failure all through. If you look at the history of Abraham Lincoln, he was a failure in many ways, but he went on to become one of the most charismatic presidents of the United States. His speeches today are still remembered. You take Raj Kapoor, for instance, who was a very famous actor. He put all his money into one movie called Mera Naam Joker. Many people may not know about Raj Kapoor. He put all his money in one movie called Mera Naam Joker. It went bust. He was penniless. And then, he borrowed. And then he made another movie 3-4 years later, and on a teenage love story. And people thought he's a mad guy because he is basically a movie maker of classics. And how come he's making a teenage love story where the title, we don't know whether it is the name of a boy or a girl. Finally, the movie was Bobby. And the Bobby, we still remember, this is a 1973 film. Or take Amitabh Bachchan. For instance, Amitabh Bachchan, his first, I think, 7 to 10 movies were a failure in 1970s. He got a movie which every known hero rejected. And that movie was Zanjeer, which made him the angry young man and he became popular. But in 1985-86, he moved on from movie to politics. And for the next 14 years, he went bankrupt. During the next course of next 14 years, he went bankrupt. And his house was supposed to be, auctioned. And in 2000, he got an offer from KBC, Kaun Banega Crorepati, and his second innings started. So I always believe second innings are always, the place where you make your mark. My favorite cricketer, for instance, is a gentleman called Gundappa Vishwanath. Gundappa Vishwanath is one of those stylish cricketers, his brother-in-law of Sunil Gavaskar. This generation may not know, but when he was inducted into the Indian team in Kanpur in 1969, his first innings, he was out for a duck. And, all people criticize, who is this guy from Bhadravati, a small town in Karnataka, who has come and who is now representing India. And that time, Indian team was dominated by, Bombay guys and some people from Hyderabad and Delhi. And this guy from Karnataka went there, and in the first innings, he scored a duck and he was written off. In the second innings, he went on to hit a century. And every time he hit a century, India never lost that match. He scored some 13 centuries. India never lost a match where Vishwanath scored a century. There is no other Indian cricketer who has got that kind of a track record. Where you hit a century, India will either draw the test or they will not lose that match. So I love failures who fight their way and become successes. Because I also face so many such problems. And I always remember about Amitabh Bachchan, Raj Kapoor, about G.R. Vishwanath, and a few other people, Abraham Lincoln, and take heart from their failures. What might have been going on in their minds? Today, Amitabh Bachchan is considered God. But between 1986 and 2000, people did not even care for him. So what might have gone in his mind for 14 years? It's not just 1 day, 2 days or something. For 14 years, he was considered as a nobody. Whereas he was a superstar just for the previous 14 years, between 1973 and 1986, he was a superstar. But between 87 and 2000, for those 14 years, he was a nobody. And then from 2000 to 2024, he's gone. So it is a cycle of life. If you are disciplined, if you are convinced about yourself, very rarely life will let you down. Life will test you, but very rarely it will let you down if you decide that you will not lie down. It is Muhammad Ali who said, it doesn't matter how many times you fall down. Every time if you get up, that's enough. That is your success. So those are the kind of stories I love to hear, where people who have failed and succeeded, not who have just succeeded. A lot of people are moderate successes are there. The guys who fail and succeed, the Vishwanaths of the world, Amitabh Bachchans, and Abraham Lincoln, these are my heroes. And this is what I learned from them.
Hats off to you, sir, for sharing all of this. Very, very inspiring and empowering. This is called wisdom, my dear friends. This is what is experience all about. Wonderful, sir. Thank you very much. It's going to lift up many of those who are facing failures. And as you've said, you have to rise after every failure. And you love the stories where you have failed, but again, later you succeeded with hard work, with perseverance, and the never give up attitude. That's wonderful. Excellence. Dear sir, what kind of a message you'd like to give out to all the youngsters or the middle-aged people or senior citizens who would like to connect with the stock market? What is it that you'd like to convey to them?
Yeah, okay, that's again a very interesting question. See, first of all, remove from your mind that stock market is a gambling den. Most people would think stock market is a gambling den because most people would have lost money. The reason why most people would have lost money is they would have done something called trading. You know, buying and selling the same day or the same month. Quick money. When you chase quick money, you're invariably going to lose. I lost many times because I also chase quick money. It is not that, you know, I'm sitting here and telling you some stories. First. Second thing is stock market will give you reasonable returns over a reasonable period of time. It will not give you quick returns. You may make quick money sometimes if you're lucky, but you will not be able to make that kind of returns all the time. You must remember that Sachin Tendulkar also scored centuries, many centuries, but he didn't score a century every time he went to bat. He had a lot of times when he was out for zeros. So you will have your zeros, you will have your centuries. So when you get a century, guard it. Guard that money. Do not just expect you will get a century every time. But do not be disheartened by zeros. Most people say, after losing money, they say, oh, this is gambling. Somebody cheated me. That man did this man did it. SEBI did it. The government of India did it. You know, they'll blame everybody excepting their own. You have to own your mistakes. While you own your successes, you have to own your failures. The moment you decide that you will own your failures as much as you own your successes, then I'm fairly certain that you will make returns which are far superior to fixed deposits or any other loan, which include a company called debentures, as I mentioned, as bonds. You will make money in the stock market on a long period of time. Steadily you will make. You will have your bad time. I showed you that India had a bad time in 90s. India had bad times in 2000. India had bad time in 2008. But finally, who stuck on survived. People like us survived because we stuck on. We didn't give up. Never, ever give up. Because you are in a country which has got a long runway of growth. Long runway of growth. Japan is aging. China is aging. US is aging. Europe is aging. India is a young country. So long as we are not aging, we are a young country, we will do well and the rewards will come to everyone. You have to stick on. That's all you need to do. You have to be there. You can't run away. You can't get depressed. If you can do that, then I'm 100% sure you will have a fantastic life. Because this country is going to give you that. You're lucky to be born in this country at this point of time. All I could say there.
Very true, sir. That's it. Very true what you said. Thank you very much for sharing all of that. You've given us a lot of power and energy, positive vibes that yes, India is a beautiful country, a young one at that, an emerging one. Make the best use of it because you're an Indian. There are lots of positive things in our country. Yes, dear sir. Dear sir, now we'll come down to friendship, very personal. What is your take on friendship? How many friends have stood by you through your professional stint and as well as your personal space? Have they stood by you or moved behind when you really needed them the most?
That's okay. I think I don't know from where you got your questions. They're all one by one. They are all really zingers, as I call it. You know, zing, zing, zing. I mean, full of thoughtful questions. Really, I should thank you for that. See, the issue is a friend. Who is a friend? A friend in need is a friend indeed, is what they say. So a true friend is a person who stands by you all times. Everybody else is not a friend. He's an acquaintance. Just because I meet somebody and I go with him to, on a picnic or I go to a restaurant with him or to a movie, he doesn't become my friend. He's more of an acquaintance. An acquaintance is simply a person whom you know and he knows you. A friend is a person who will be there with you through thick and thin. So when you define friend, so a true friend can never ditch you. An acquaintance can ditch you. In life, you'll have many acquaintances who you think are friends. They're not friends, they're just acquaintances. The moment you realize, the moment you think that they are just acquaintances and not friends, then you will not get disappointed when they disappoint you. See, they can't disappoint you anyway. When you think they're acquaintances, when they do not come to your rescue at your lows, they only want you at your highs, then they are not friends. So once you realize that, then I think it is okay. See, over a period of 60 years, I have seen people whom I thought were my very close friends did not measure up to the definition of friendship. So at 60, what I am thinking is, it was my mistake that I thought they are my friends. It is not their mistake. It is my mistake that I thought they were my friends. And I felt disappointed when they did not help me or they did not stand by me. If I had thought that they are just acquaintances, then I would have been less disappointed. So today, I've come to that conclusion, that enlightenment after so many years, that anybody I meet is going to be only an acquaintance and not a friend. He will become a friend when he comes to my need when I need it. I don't even have to ask. A good friend will know. A good friend will know. So I'll just give an example. I have another hero, Dhirubhai Ambani. Dhirubhai Ambani, he was a person, extraordinary guy. You see, today, when you make some money in the stock market or make money in the market or as a businessman, you will immediately build a tower and you'll name it as Ambani Tower. Or let's say you'll name it as on your name, you'll name it. Or you'll start some brand and you'll name it on your own. But Ambani never named his products as Ambani. He named it as Reliance. He didn't own a house. It's unimaginable. He was the richest industrialist in the country when he was alive, one of the richest. He didn't own a house. He didn't own an office. His corporate office is in Maker Chambers 4, Nariman Point, Mumbai. Maker is the guy who made that building. So this gentleman, Ambani, who dined with Indira Gandhi, who was the biggest industrialist in this country, never owned anything. So he had one dictum. He said, if somebody calls me for a marriage, and on the same day, if somebody I know has a bereavement, has some death in the family, I will avoid the marriage, I will go to the death ceremony. He had this philosophy. In a happy occasion, nobody will miss me. But when there is a death in the family, he may need assistance. So I will be there. And that is one thing which has struck me. I always believed in that dictum, that between a happy occasion and between a sad occasion, I'll be present at the sad occasion rather than the happy occasion. So that is a simple rule of life. That is what friendship is all about. You just have to be there when he needs most. He may not call you. You may know. You may know about his problem. You just have to be there. Or somebody's in hospital. You just have to be there. You don't have to go to a movie. Between a movie and go to hospital, go to the hospital. The joy the other person gets because of that is immeasurable. And in life, we have to see that people get immeasurable joy because of us. Movie you can always see. Or a cricket match you can always see. But being at the bedside of a person admitted to hospital is immeasurable. That's what I've learned. And I try to inculcate it in a small manner. It's not that I've been successful all the time, but I remember of Dhirubhai Ambani. That's what he did.
Beautiful, sir. You've really explained that term very clearly with regard to friendship. You've also connected that with acquaintance. Who is an acquaintance? Who's a real friend? And you don't need to tell your friend what you're going through. He or she will understand what you're going through. Without a word, they will come forward and stand by you. That's wonderful. And you've given a beautiful example of the Ambani family as well, especially the main one. That's really nice, sir. So I'd like to come on this. You mentioned cricket as you were just sharing. You mentioned cricket. Are you a cricket buff as well? Do you watch cricket match or any other game? You're connected with.
Yeah, see, I am a sports buff. I am basically, I used to be in athletics, so I used to do the sprints. At the age of 54, I started running long distance. People called me, "What is uncle? Why are you running at this age?" But I have done quite a few half marathons. The Satara half marathon at the age of 55. And Hyderabad, I came and ran the 10 kilometers. I ran the Mount Abu half marathon, after the age of 55. So the funda there is that, I have to complete that race. I have to complete. I'm not bothered how fast I run. I have to complete it. Once I take upon it, I should complete. So that is my passion. So I used to play sports, but cricket as such, you see, I have stopped showing interest after the 90s. A lot of commerce is coming to cricket. Today, cricket is very different from what cricket was played in the 1960s and the 70s. See, I'm an old timer. So the cricket was played with, joy, and the kind of camaraderie was there. Today, that is not there. It is more of aggression. So the same cricketers like Kapil Dev won the World Cup for us. The kind of joy which the 1983 World Cup team had, and the 2011 World Cup also we won. It was very, very different. The circumstances very different. The joy de vivre, as they say. I mean, the team, the way they gelled, very, very different. So I moved on from really those popular sports, if I may call that. I do watch athletics more than anything, and long distance running is my passion. But today I don't really run so much. But any run which is there, I try to professional run. I try to just join in and run at my own pace and have fun while running. It is not that I want to compete at a particular personal best or something like that. I want to complete that run. And 70% of the people who run do not complete it. They get injured in the first year. So I'm lucky as an old man running, but still completing it. Thankfully, with God's grace, I've been able to complete. Sorry, I'm not able to hear you. You're muted.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I've muted myself. I always do that.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much for letting me know that. Yes, sir. It's not the age, it's your passion. And so at all ages, we all should be very active. Very nice, sir. That's really nice to share that. And if I may ask you, your favorite Indian athlete or an international one?
See, the favorite Indian athlete for me is Milkha Singh. People again would have heard. Milkha Singh never won an Olympic gold. He never won an Olympic medal. He was fourth in the Rome Olympics. He was fourth. But the kind of, dedication which he did is unimaginable. So for me, that, see, it is not just winning laurels. See, there are so many people who have won gold medals, so many people who have, won championships. But people like Milkha Singh or Prakash Padukone, who was the first All-England badminton champion, when they had no, chance, they had no coaching, yet he went on to win. That is, Deepika Padukone's father, Prakash Padukone. So people like that, even Gopi Chand from Hyderabad, Sania from Hyderabad. So a lot of people from Hyderabad I like, Jaisimha, Pataudi, they're all from Hyderabad. Somehow Hyderabad people, I mean, you are from Hyderabad. So I'm saying a lot of people from Hyderabad were my childhood heroes, and they still remain like that. So they are not that they're world beaters, but the perseverance. What is sport after all? Sport is only perseverance. You have to persevere. You have a goal and you persevere towards that goal. Whether you miss the gold medal, whether you get it, silver medal, that is not important. What did you do? And that, I think, is what I look for in a sportsman. So these are very unusual selection it would be. G.R. Vishwanath, he never scored, he scored only, as I told you, about 11 centuries or 13 centuries. So that's nothing. But G.R. Vishwanath is G.R. Vishwanath. So that is the kind of thing which, they are the guys who leave a mark. That is whom I like.
Yes, that's wonderful. That's really very nice. Dear sir, I would like you now to give us a beautiful message for all the senior citizens. You are so active and you are so, connected with everyone. And you would like to give your best even now. You're doing your very best. But there are several senior citizens, they are retired and they don't want to take it forward. They just want to be where they are, just relax. So I want you to give them that positive feel that yes, you could come out and you could have focus on the second innings, as you mentioned that to earlier. So I would like you to invite all the, senior citizens to be more active, because we've seen a few of them slowing down. And once it's retirement time and then we are done. So I want you to give a very powerful message to all of them.
Yeah, thank you. See, my father's retirement age was 55. Okay. Finally, they extended it some 2 more years or so. So he was looking forward to retiring. After 50, those days, most people were looking for retirement, looking forward to retirement. So at 55, I began to run long distance. Now, the point is simply this. Okay, you're looking forward to something. If your goal is retirement, then what will you do after 55? Your goal cannot be retirement. Your goal has to be till death. Now, it may look very strange. I tell my children, or I tell all my friends, that I'm in the stock market. I want to punch every day. I'm punching my orders. Even my last breath, I want to punch the closing order and then pass away. So I don't want to retire. So you can be tired, but you can never be retired. Because the moment you have a goal of retirement, you should have, that means you're dead after that. They say some people die at 90, some people die at 30, and the remaining 60, they just go through life as if, like dead people. And there is no reason for you not to look for second innings. People ask me today, why are you doing the second innings? For me, every single day is a challenge. Every single day is a pleasure. See, the fact that I got an opportunity to talk to you is a fantastic thing. I never thought about it. So this is a memorable thing for me. So if you are alive and active, then opportunities will come. And these opportunities, you would not have thought about it. You would have just not thought about it. So there is no question of retiring. I have had my own classmates who just given up. So for me, I just wonder, because when we were in the military school, we were all very active. Somewhere along the line, people have just given up. And I don't see any reason why to give up. So as we age, generally our bodies will slow, but that doesn't mean you're dead. You see? So I don't see, there are always hobbies which you can do. There are always, I recently saw one guy with Parkinson's, he's an 86-year-old gentleman from Goa. He was singing the Elvis Presley song with very good voice he's got. So he was having Parkinson's, his hands are shaking at 86, but with a powerful voice, he is entertaining people. So when that guy can do, why can't we do? The moment you think I'm old, you become old. The moment you think, I've got a long way to go, nobody knows when we are going. But if you say I will be active till the last breath, then, your life is completely different. See, it's very difficult to explain as to how it is different. People will say, why are you climbing mountains, or why are you running in the mountains at the age of 56, 57? The thrill which you get in running in the mountains, I can't describe it. You have to run to understand that thrill. So I don't see any reason. Today, you see, you have the gyms. There were no gyms at one time. Today, you can go for long walks. You can do many things. You can go for rowing. You can do many things. You can go for hiking. You can have groups where you can travel together. Those things were not there about 30 years ago. So I don't see why you should give up. Never, ever give up, I would say. The joy of life is gone.
Yes, yes. Thank you for that one. That was really great. And I needed that because we have many senior citizens who have just given up on their lives and just, they don't want to take it forward. But you've given that positive feel, that positive push that, yes, you could do it. If I could do it, you could do it. And we all should do it. We should not think we are old. We should think that yet we've got another beautiful day to live and, be active till your last breath. As you said, with regard to your work, that's you want to end your work, your last breath by doing your work, which you're very much connected with.
Yeah.
Right?
On a lighter note, I would say, if you sit at home, your wife will nag you. So at least get out of the home. And for the ladies, I would say your husband will nag you. So get out of the house. And you can achieve many things outside the house. Why sit at home?
Very true, sir. That's very true. So I'd like you now to share about your YouTube channel. You've started this to empower people with regard to what is it? I will not share that. I would like you to share. Now, I'd like you to just enlighten us about the YouTube channel where people could benefit as to what it is and what they could expect from that.
Yeah. See, YouTube channels are dime a dozen. So there's nothing new in starting a YouTube channel. But if you believe that you have got something to contribute, then you must not, you must go ahead and start it. See, I had this passion to do something because my thinking or my experience, I would have wanted to share my knowledge. I wanted to share with people. So I said, and I've gone through so many YouTube channels. I've gone through so many podcasts. And I felt I could give something which is different, which is not there in the other YouTube channels, specifically looking at the stock market. So I said, let me try. And I can give them information and analysis, which I believe strongly is very different from what you get from any other YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel, as I said, may not be jing bang, may not be sophisticated in terms of production values, but I'm very confident that my YouTube channel will have great amount of content which will benefit a person to make profits in the stock market. So I started something called Market Mirror is the name of my YouTube channel, which has been started just 10 days ago. I have a Telegram channel called Market Mirror. I have a WhatsApp group called Market Mirror. So I use Market Mirror because it is mirroring the market, and market mirrors life anyway. So I have started this as one of my new ventures. There is nothing there. It is free of cost. People can every day, early morning 8:30, I put a video. And on the weekends, if I am free, I want to put a larger video. And I want to do, through Google Meet and through this forum, a question answer session with people so that, I can answer people's questions, all free of cost. So this is so in the initial days when I've done this, I got enormous amount of feedback, which has surprised me no end. A lot of people were waiting for such a thing, it looked like. They said, yours is very different. We learned something which we have not learned from any other YouTube channel. All other YouTube channels which they have gone through, that's what the feedback is, where they said how to make quick money. I don't offer anything like how to make quick money. I offer you an ability to think, a forum to think. I want you to think and then money will come. If you think and act, money will come. So that is what my YouTube channel aims to do. And that is what I am trying to do. And I'm hopeful that more and more people will join me in this journey.
Yes, dear. Yes, dear sir, they will, sir, because you're sharing a lot of input into that. It's called as the M Square Market Mirror.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
really nice.
Yeah.
Wonderful, sir. Dear sir, now I'd like to take you on a short round called as the rapid fire round, which will be a brief round, and I'll take another 10 minutes from you, dear sir. Before I enter into the rapid fire round, is there something else that you'd love to share, either with a PPT or you have a presentation, or you'd like to share any topic before we go on to the next round? You're free to do it.
Right now, to be very honest, I don't have any PPT ready for this particular thing. All I can say is that, you will see me every day morning at 8:30. That will give you what goes on in my mind. So that should do. So if you just subscribe to my channel and like it, and you will get to hear my thoughts every single day at 8:30 in the morning. It will be just a 5 minutes talk on the markets, and you will hopefully benefit from that. But right now, I don't have anything serious to share.
Wow, that's really nice, sir. That's really nice. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
My dear friends, we go on this beautiful round called as the rapid fire round to get to know the likes and dislikes of our celebrity and guest. I had a wonderful time. I learned a lot about life and, of course, sir's profession with regard to the stock market, which I had no idea. I'm sure many of you are in the same boat like me. Dear sir, now we come down to the rapid fire round. What makes you smile?
What makes me smile? Somebody's smile makes me smile.
What annoys you?
Asking questions where answers can be found. You know, for instance, you can Google and find the answer. But if you ask me the question again and again, which you can find from Google, that certainly annoys me.
Yes, that's really nice. That's very true. Now, so the next question, your favorite breakfast?
My favorite breakfast is any eggs, any kind of egg.
Wow, that's really nice. Your favorite month?
Favorite?
Favorite month?
Month. Month is the winter months, maybe December. Though I was born in August, but December.
Wow, you said August 2 now. Maybe know your birthday?
Independence Day.
Wow, I just guessed that. I had a guess, wild guess. Maybe it could be 15th of August. Wow, we will wish you for your birthday too. That's wonderful. That's really nice. And among all the 7 days of the week, which is your favorite one, sir?
Favorite day is Monday. Because you see, you are rested on the week and you're raring to go. So for me, generally Monday blues, they say. For me, Monday green it is. So I'm raring to go on Mondays.
Wow, that's nice. An early bird or a night owl?
I'm not a night owl, but I'm neither a very, very early bird. Okay. 10 o'clock, sleep, 6 o'clock, get up. So I don't know whether it's early bird and night owl.
Yes, sir. So when you're all alone with nobody around you and no gadget as well, you're not connected to any of the people around you, not the social gadgets that are there. I mean, a phone or maybe a tab or a laptop. You're all alone, no book and paper in front of you. And where do you think your thoughts connect you at that time? Because you have nothing to do other than be connected to your thoughts. If you're isolated in a place, where do your thoughts take you? Past, present, or future?
No, they will take me to past and bridge to the future. So you see, when you go into the past, you will see what all things you did. It's like a flashback. And then you want to learn from that and then you plan your future.
Yes, yes.
It happens regularly.
Great. That's nice. Very true. Dear sir, how would you describe or explain a perfect day, a nice day, just in one word?
Perfect day, you said?
Yes. A beautiful day, a nice day. How would you describe or explain it just in one word?
Oh, one word. One word could be a happy day. I mean, say with company. I would like my family to be there. So that would be a happy day.
We could put it as family.
Absolutely. Family number one.
That's really nice. Beautiful, sir. Excellent. Your favorite mode of transport?
Favorite mode of transport is walk.
That's really great. Sir, is it a beach or a forest? Where do you feel that you could really unwind and relax?
I've lived on a beach for 30 years. So beach is, I mean, in Madras, we lived very close to the beach. So
Is it Marina Beach?
Not Marina, it is Elliott Beach in Besanagar. Marina is, as we call, Marina is for the tourists. The Elliott Beach is for the elites, is what we used to mockingly say that, but that's not correct. Actually, that's not how it should be said. But I ran on the Marina 3 days a week for training for the half marathon. But I unwound on the Elliott's Beach.
Yes. Yes, sir. What is it that you love about Vijay?
Willingness to get up every time he falls. And he falls many times. So willingness. I never give up. Never.
Brilliant, brilliant. That's a big, big takeaway for me and for everyone. No matter how many times you drop down, rise up again, and there lies your strength. Wonderful, sir. Excellent, sir. That's what you have to love about yourself, to be consistent and to persevere and go forward. Wonderful, sir. Dear sir, your favorite movie?
There's so many movies.
Most favorite one?
Oh my God. There are no most favorite. I loved Sholay, for instance. And I loved a movie called My Cousin Vinny, which is a very, I mean, it is not a well-known film, but it is one of those really humorous films. I have seen it so many times. I've seen Sholay maybe half a dozen times. I've seen My Cousin Vinny also half a dozen times. So if you say a frequency of watching, these two are there up there. Of course, Godfather is there and Bobby is there. There's so many movies. But Sholay there in Hindi and My Cousin Vinny, which is not a famous film in English.
Yes, sir. How would you want people to remember you? And why should people why should people remember Mr. Vijay?
Yeah, I wish people remember me of being sincere to my work and sincere to them. And I believe that sooner or later people will remember me only for that, I was sincere in what I did.
Wonderful. That's really nice. So we have last two requests from you. One is a question and one is a request. Till date, the best gift you ever received?
I don't remember any gift. I would say a well-cooked meal by my wife is my best gift. I will not, she cooks so many wonderful meals. So I always assume that that is my gift, that I got such a good wife who prepares such good meals for me.
Wow, that's really great. Beautiful. That's really nice. So before we wind up for today's session, we have many more questions, and I'm sure you will share your time in future with us where we could focus on those beautiful questions too. One last request. We'd like you to share 3 powerful magical words with us. Apart from please, sorry, and thank you, we always put in a little request to all our celebrities and guests to share 3 empowering words. Over to you, sir.
Oh, the words in a sequence would be never give up.
Wonderful, wonderful.
People around me, I've seen many people give up. Never give up is my 3 words, I would say.
Yes, sir. It's really very empowering. And I think this is the first time I've got to hear this on the International Fabtalks. We've done more than 400 interviews. This is the first time these 3 words in a sequence, as you've mentioned, never give up. And there lies the beauty of this life. Never give up, be positive. So thank you so much, sir. Looking forward to many more interactions with you in the near future as well. Stay blessed and stay connected.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Been very kind and lovely questions. And certainly I would love to come back, and hopefully this interaction will help a few people. Even if it helps one person, that is good enough for me. Thank you. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I hope you did. Your questions, as I said, were very to the point and very interesting questions, very well thought out questions. And I enjoyed it immensely. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for being so kind, humble, and polite. Thank you for accepting the invitation. Stay blessed. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. My dear friends, with this, we come to an end to the International Fab Talks for today. My dear friends, we've got a lot to learn from this beautiful session. You have a lot of takeaways, and me too. Please do share this video with the right kind of people who may be interested in getting to know as to what is the stock market, as to what is investment and all of that, and a lot of life lessons as well. Do us a favor, share this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Not only on the International Fab Talks, you could please also follow, subscribe. That is Market Mirror. Market Mirror, which sir focuses is energies and positive experiences. And every day, what he gets to know about the profession he is into, he shares all of that on Market Mirror. And of course, the International Fab Talks. Like, comment, subscribe, and share the videos. Stay blessed and stay safe.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.